Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Ren. I got a video today from Passport OG, Passport Pops. Camryn Bynum. I actually don't know this gentleman, but it seems he married a Filipino woman and went on the NFL to actually ask to help her get a visa over here. And they say passport bros are dusties and undesirables. This gentleman plays for the freaking Vikings, bros. Please like, subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
My wife, she's in the Philippines working on her visa. It's been getting denied. So if anybody out there can help with the visa process, I greatly appreciate it.
On social media, Bynum says his wife has twice been denied a tourist visa and that a spousal visa has not been granted.
It's not easy to bring him over, man. Not easy to bring him over.
Camryn Bynum has since gotten the visa for his wife from the Philippines to be with him in America since his emotional plea after a win against the 49ers.
Happy for the
But
gentleman.
the story of Camryn Bynum goes deeper than just a football player or a guy finding love. It speaks to the complexity of the American experience, the black male experience, and how in 2023, the search for love and the rules for finding it have been completely rewritten.
That it has.
This feel-good story of finding love and embracing identity is something that many of us are learning to embrace in a new world and a new time where we are finding out new ways to live our lives. To see what drove Camryn Bynum to a level of excellence to not only get to the NFL, but to excel, you need only look at his parents, Curtis and Jennifer Bynum. His father, a black man, his mother, a third-generation Filipino, and while his mother may be his rock, the discipline that got him to the NFL can be attributed to his father. The pride that Camryn exhibits in family can be seen on his Instagram. It is from this home, this environment.
Is it me? Is when I see stories like this, I get so like giddy, just like the gentleman came from two loving parents. The two parents did their best and did an amazing job of raising the kid. The kid grows up to excel in what he wants to excel in. And, he has to find love and he goes out overseas to find love. Why? Because his mother is Filipino. He's seen the dynamic happen.
That this half Filipino, half black young man forged his identity. Per the Daily Californian, built the Bynum way, Camryn Bynum's drive embodies Cal football's new era. Before Ground Zero, the pro training facility that prepared Bynum for the NFL draft, he had another trainer in his life, his dad, Curtis. After Pop Warner practices, Curtis would take his son to the park and make him run hills. And on days when he didn't have practice, they'd be there too, training endlessly so that Bynum could improve his game.
Shout outs to Bynum's father. Shout out to all fathers out there that really put in that work and put in that effort to make sure their kids excel in life. You fathers are greatly needed in the world.
His dad's training was as mental as it was physical. They would watch Centennial High School games, Bynum's eventual alma mater, Friday nights, studying some of the most competitive football in Southern California. My dad was the one that started training me at a young age, and even if he didn't know that much about what he was doing, he was still trying, Bynum says. He probably influenced me the most football-wise.
From the day I met you, I knew 100% that we'd be standing right here on this altar as soon as I had the chance.
And she's a gorgeous woman. Like, she looks young, she looks feminine, she's from the Philippines. So the traditional family values, the motherly values are gonna be there.
Our testimony is proof that some things just have to be God. I met my wife on the other side of the world. Crazy. I said my life is a movie, but you brought a whole new meaning to that.
For a group of men and black men who have often been categorized as marriage averse and irresponsible with their procreation, in the rise of the Passport Bros era, a new narrative is being written. There is a distinct group of black men looking for marriage, looking for wives. To see the son of a black man and a Filipino woman start his quest for a wife overseas only reinforces the trend.
This shit warms my heart. I'm getting chills watching this because it's man, this is what I wish for all of you guys out there. If this is what you choose, If you guys want to get married, you want to have a family, this is the type of setting I wish you guys all get to find. Will you? Probably fucking not, but I do wish for this. And then go after it, men. Don't just expect this shit to like fall on your lap just because you travel to the Philippines once or twice. You gotta work hard. You gotta build yourself. Make good money. I'm not saying to be a freaking 100K earner or anything. Just make good money and do the best you can. Like if you only make 60,000, make that 60,000 worth it. Save, do what you need to do to be able to get to where you need to go. Even if that's capped at where you're able to earn, find other ways to do what you can do.
That we have already seen. A man who avoided engagement throughout his college years and even during his stint in the NFL, found his Filipino bride and married her in.
This is why we tell you guys, it's fun to mess around in your 20s. It's fun to mess around while you're young. But it's best to use those years to build. It's best to use those years to get to where he's at. Then chase some tail, then find a wife. I'm not saying it's completely wrong to get married right away. I'm not saying it's completely wrong to chase some tail in the beginning either. But when you want the best outcome for you and your family, this is it right here. This is it.
Side of a year.
I love being able to be in America half the year during football season. And be in the Philippines the entire off season and live out there. So I get to live in different spots.
He's already saving massive amounts of money. He makes millions and he goes to the Philippines and saves millions because he isn't in the US spending crazy amounts of money like that. This gentleman is learning. He's learned from all of our mistakes and all the mistakes of all other NFL players. It's a good brain. It's a good mind on his head, or it's a good head on his shoulders.
That's where I don't feel like I'm too tied down into one culture. I'm able to really get a little bit of both. And that's one thing I love about being in the NFL. It's a blessing because obviously we work half the year and then we get a real off season, like real off time where I can go explore out there.
Cam Bynum incidentally explains the idea.
His is not a remote work, but he only works for about, is it 6 months? He said half a year. So like 6 months ish. He gets like 3-4 months of like vacation and then they go back to training. That's actually pretty cool. And, NFL careers aren't lifetime careers either. So hopefully he can make good money in like the next 10 to 15 years. I don't know how long NFL careers really last, but save up money and then build and go and venture out into other capital, investments.
Ideal life for many passport bros. One where they can continue to live their business life in America, either through remote work or through working in America temporarily and then taking a part of the year to live overseas. For each passport bro, this looks a little different, but for some, it's finding a wife. For others, it's raising a family. For others, it's going to relax. And for even others,
freaking gets to meet Pac-Man. Jealous.
It's simply a way to live your best life.
Cam Bynum was at Burnsville High School giving out turkeys to the needy for the open door.
Being able to come out here and bless families that need certain things and be able to give that to them is always a blessing for us too.
Also there, his wife, who finally made it over from the Philippines to join her husband for the first time, as people saw yesterday at the game.
Let's go ball, baby.
It's beautiful seeing him do what, like football, everything that he's good at, and especially serving with him.
Seeing the young love between these early 20-year-olds harkens many of us back to a time when relationship making was much simpler. Hearing this young Filipino wife speak reminds many men in America of what we've missed for so long.
And it's still out there, man. Yes, maybe we don't have it here in the United States, but it's still out there available for us. This is what to show you guys that it's still there. You don't have to be a major football star to get this scenario. You really don't. But it's nice to see even a major football star wanting this scenario for himself.
And so this Thanksgiving, the Bynums are thankful for football and much more.
Our first week here giving back to families. That's how we started our marriage. The day after our wedding, we did our outreach in the Philippines and served the families there.
It was a long process, but it's worth it. And we know that it's all God's timing, and it's really perfect.
In a time where we see fewer and fewer 20-year-old women thinking about things like chastity, marriage, family, serving community, and even Christ, seeing a story like this one only strengthens the argument for Passport Bros. What man doesn't want to create a legacy where he can see his son marry into a community, his daughters marry into a family, and have legacy that goes beyond his lifetime? There is a new roadmap for this, for a growing number of American men mirroring that of Cam Bynum, looking overseas, where the wives are, to start a family.
Damn, that was some heartwarming chow. Shout outs to Passport Pops and his smooth ass voice, man. It felt like watching a documentary, being narrated by like David Attenborough or something. Shout outs to the Burnhams. Congratulations. I hope you guys live a wonderful life. This is wonderful. Like that you guys are showing the world the possibility of relationships out there that are still being able to be built. Yes, maybe not with the women here in the United States, but still being able to be built. And it shows you guys out there, if you guys were, thinking that we're dusties and, passport bros, they just want tail and stuff like that. Look at this shit. Watch this. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.